did I put that? Oh, there it is. I would think I would like to have my red stuff though. I think I'll try red today. Let's try red. I think I need to wash my glasses too. Yeah, actually, that's all right. I don't mind that one. Yeah, I like the red today, but I gotta wash these glasses. They're really, it's hard to see through them. I get my fingerprints on them. Okay. Okay. Let's see how that works there. Hello, Veda. How are you today? So that's better. I can see better now. I am from Prince George, British Columbia, Canada. And may we ask where you're from, Veda? I'm just sitting here at my desk. You're good, thanks. And where are you from? May we inquire? I'm going to set that there. That goes the garbage. I think I'm putting my drinks up here. You're from Montreal. Oh, from Canada. Montreal, Quebec. No, I haven't been to Montreal, but my daughter has. I hear that you guys are famous for your poutine. And I mean, you can't help but love poutine. It's not very healthy, but I got a bit of a cold right now, so my voice is a little bit. Yes, I am retired. Ish. I'm healing is what I'm doing. Let's put that there. I'm gonna bring this over here. I'm just gonna put it right on. I better hang that one back up. Oh, here's that tube that I was looking for. There it is. You are right. You are right and definitely not healthy. Oh, I'm not healthy. Actually, I think I'm fairly healthy. I take really good care of my health. I have a cold right now, which colds help build your immune system. So I don't consider myself unhealthy because I have a cold. Ryan Barnes, what are your thoughts? Oh, okay. I can. I got such a cold right now. Okay, that's funny. Okay. I get so confused. Okay, yes, poutine is not healthy. You're funny. No, that made me laugh. Yeah, hey, I'm healthy. But poutine is not healthy. Yeah, but it tastes really good. I'm referring to poutine. Okay, yeah. All right. I'm gonna put that one there. But yeah, poutine does taste good. Yeah. Hi, Crystal. Hello, Julie and everyone. How's Crystal today? Did you check out Don Williams? Coffee black, cigarettes. Start this day like all the rest. Well, first thing every morning that I do is I start missing you. I've got a cold and I'm singing. It kind of gives you that. Put this one right there. I do want to do that. Yeah. So you run errands and talk with my friend on the edge of breaking up with her man. Ooh. Relationships ending are, it tests our strength and it shows us how well prepared we were in taking care of ourselves. Great singing. Yeah, not bad for with a cold, eh? I've got my coffee black. Have you had your coffee black, Miss Crystal? You know, with your friend, and if you could share something with Cookham, because I guess it's a matter of perspective, right? Now, if it's a good thing and the person's happy about the breakup, well, that's one experience. Another experience is that you're unhappy about the breakup and you're sad and scared. I always like to tell that as a sort of to help people or even yourself, that is that story of good luck, bad luck, who knows? So I don't know if you want to share this story with your friend. Good luck, bad luck, who knows? Because I remember praying once when I was building an orchard, and I would pray in the yard that everything would turn out perfectly and the orchard would grow and multiply, and it didn't. It went like that. But now when I look at it, so that was kind of heartbreaking, really disappointing, but however, if that wouldn't have happened, I would never have started my YouTube channel. And I'm just so glad I did. Just the beautiful energy and support from people has been a real game changer. Okay, so I'm going to sort of go back and forth again here. I'm going to bounce back and forth from Crystal and then bounce back up to Veda. Just hang in there, Veda. Oh, so 3 of us women friends are on fire with woman power. So is this it? You got 2 other friends? So between the 3 of you, you guys are on fire? You're pulling together, putting your energy together? Tell me more about that. I'm just going to come up here. Okay, so Crystal said she had her... Oh, right, cowboy coffee. I got to remember that. I want my journal. Where's my journal? Where did I put it? Oh, it's way over here. And just again, I'm talking a little funny because I got a cold. But it's just therapy. Forget all about my cold. Yeah, I forgot to write down cowboy coffee. Cowgirl coffee. I called it cowboy coffee. Oh my God. The girls' club is going to kill me. I take it back. It was a slip of the words. Cowgirl coffee. All right. Okay. Cow girl, calling it cowboy coffee. And them girls in the girl club is gonna give me a whooping. Okay. So 3 of your friends are on fire with woman power. Tell us more about women power. I want to hear about this. Women power. Equality. Equality. Always, where is that thing I have? Wish I had that little cartoon to show everybody. Where did I put it? Oh, I think I know where it is. Hang on a minute. On equality. I call it equity instead of equality. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I think it's in here. Oh, come on. Where did I put it? Where'd you put it, Julie? Come on, Julie. Oh, darn it. Now I can't show you because I don't have it. I don't think I have it. No. Oh, I wish I did though. Okay, I guess I don't. Oh well. I want it because I don't call it equality. I call it equity. Equity. Yeah, I guess I can't share it right now. But equality is a great word too. I'm here waiting for you to reply to my comments. Yes, so I was just, that's what I said. I'll come back up. I'm coming back up, Veta. Oh, yes, I'm 58, Veta. And what was your job before retirement? Well, for the first 25 years or so of my life, I was a long-term care aide. So I worked in the Canadian Mental Health Association, Cerebral Palsy Association. I worked at Aim High, and my job was a programmer and assisting with life skills. And then after that, I was a bus driver, a school bus driver, and then I was a Greyhound driver, and then I was a garbage truck driver, and then I hauled general freight and dangerous goods. 1965, equality for all humans, the year I was born. Oh, was that a special year, 1965? Equality for all humans. Yes, equality. Yes. 1974, women were allowed to buy their own home. Was it till 1974 you weren't allowed to buy your own home? Really? Wow. 4 years later, 1978, 6 women astronauts went into space. Yeah. So that was in 1978. All 3 of us blew up this weekend. Oh, all 3 of you and your friends broke up this weekend with your men in our lives. It wasn't, no way. What do you guys do? Everything together? We better hope all your friends live to 100 then. If you guys are going to do everything together. Cowgirl coffee, yeah. We all dumped our men this last weekend. And mine has lived on the couch for 7 years. Oh, out of my generosity, all 3 of us women are camera operators in Vegas for concerts. Oh, you're a photographer. Conventions, commercials, etc. Cerebral palsy Julie, you worked? Well, my very first job was at a home called Catherine's House for boys with physical disabilities and mental disabilities. And, um, and then I worked for the Canadian Mental Health Association, and then I worked for the Cerebral Palsy Association. Yes, so with people with cerebral palsy, but when you work at Aim High, you can also work with people with cerebral palsy because you could be someone with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, um, seizures, autism. It's a multiple, it's just, Catherine's House was a home for boys. It was through the Catholic Church here in town, and I think it's still there actually, and it's a home for boys. And so none of these boys walked. They were all in a wheelchair, five of them in the home. And it was just for boys, this home. That was my first job in long-term care. I wonder which one I like the best of all those. Let me think for a minute. I think I liked working for the Canadian Mental Health Association the most. I think that'd be my favorite of all those jobs. Oh, I gotta do that today. Let's write that down. Let's start up a list of what I gotta do before I go to the river. Very cool. I had a friend named John Calhoun, lived to be elderly. He wrote a book about his life. His Facebook page is still up after he passed. I'm gonna actually... He was a friend of yours? Mm-hmm. Cerebral palsy, yeah, and that isn't, I think cerebral palsy is generally lack of oxygen in organ. Yeah. I think, isn't cerebral palsy generally lack of oxygen at birth? Not limited to, but quite often that's where it originates. Cowgirl coffee. Cowgirl coffee. Is lack of oxygen at birth. Yeah, isn't that amazing to develop completely perfectly up until the time of birth, and then a complication in the birth process. What was it like before the medical care like it is today? It was what it was at 3 in every 10 births ended in death. I mean, that's why when I, through my YouTube channel here, exploring ways to heal, sharing ways to heal, learning ways to heal, I hold space for both the natural healing and then the medical field. I think when you put them together, you can get really good results. Yeah. All right. So you guys, you and your friends are all camera operators. Let me go back up there and see what that was again. Out of my generosity, all three of us women are camera operators. This is how you and your girlfriends know each other. A camera operators. That's a cool job. That's a cool job. That's a cool job. How long you been doing that, Crystal? That's pretty cool. I love photography. I've just done it all my life. And here I am, a photographer on YouTube. Okay, this one here, I'm going to set over here in the recipe box. In the recipe box. 42 years as of this November. So you like it. You love your job. If you're there for 42 years. So you were just starting out. You've done this your whole life. Started at age 18, yes. Because I remember you told me, I think you were 62. Either 62 or 63. Wow, that's really cool. I've got to start to make more space on my desk here. Oh, that's what I was doing, right. I started something and then, so I'm going to start a list of what I want to get done here. Wow, so you must be good at it. There's something about doing a job and then you're just good at it. It's always everything, I call it live art, yeah. Wow. Wow, that's so cool that you guys do that. And that's how you all know each other. And even you all do everything. How long have you known these girls that you're all doing everything simultaneously? All right. I've got to do that. Put that on the list. And I passed the written CDL during pandemic. I admire your skills on the road, Julie. What is CDL? Okay. She passed. What is the written CDL? The written CDL. What is that? Oh, you did. You passed it? I passed the written commercial driver's license. Commercial driver's license. Okay. Commercial driver's license. I surrendered my class 1 10 years after the final brain damages. And I told ICBC, I said, if I could drive, I would have done it by now. I'm just surrendering this. I'm not taking my medical for my driver's license every few years. And I told ICBC if I could have drove, even when I moved into the home that I live in now, after coming out of chemo, I went down to the schoolyard where I live, and I was sat in the parking lot wanting so bad to go in and apply for a job, and it was just like, no, my brain's fucked. I can't do it. It was really hard. And it took me, so that would have been 8 years ago, and it took me up until this year to finally surrender my driver's license. Not my driver's license, I just downgraded to a class 5. I just told them if I could have got a job driving, I would have done it already. That's just who I am. But it was fun driving school bus, driving garbage truck, and I mean, there was a lot wrong with what was going on at that time, but just driving the truck, yeah, I loved driving. But now I'm going to get a van. I'm going to get a van and drive that. Class 5, commercial driver's license, truck driving. So you just passed yours. I passed the written commercial drivers during the pandemic. I admire your skills on the road. Are you driving at all? Like, I mean, that was during the pandemic. That's a while back. Have you put that to use? Lusa, 6 years, and Maria, 11. Yeah, it was fun driving. I really love driving. All my life, I've loved driving. At 12 years old, I woke up. One night I woke up in the middle of the night and I decided I'd take my parents' car for a drive around Dawson Creek. So I got up in the middle of the night. I just always felt comfortable behind the wheel. Never overdrove, but I enjoyed the aspect of driving. And I was 12 years old and I woke up in the middle of the night and I just grabbed the keys and took the car for a drive for a couple hours around Dawson Creek. But then it was, my mom got up because she had a feeling something wasn't right. So she went out front and she noticed the car was missing. And then so she goes back to the room. She's got 3 girls and she wanted to see which one of her girls was gone. And it was me. So my dad and mom, they hid in the dark. I still remember when I pulled in the driveway, because we lived in this trailer and I knew that the light would shine in the front kitchen. And so as I pulled in, I turned out the lights in the car, on the headlights on the car, and just turned it off, and I'm sneaking up the doorstep and I quietly walk into the house, leave all the lights off, and then my mom and dad were sitting in the dark waiting for me. And so while I was out, I had bought this pack of cigarettes. Remember the old vending machines? And so I stopped by. It was called the George Dawson Inn, and they had the cigarette vending machine. So I stopped and I bought a pack of cigarettes, put my money in. Players Light, that's what we smoked back then. Well, that's what I would smoke. And I remember pulling up, sneaking up, and I open the door, I walk in, and just around the corner, my dad's sitting on the counter, and he smoked at the time, so he's smoking the cigarette. And I just remember I flipped on the kitchen light then, and there's my mom sitting at the table and my dad sitting on the counter. And I was busted, so I just went, "Oh, hi, Dad. I took the car for a drive. I'm home now." And then, yeah, I got busted. But they turned all the lights off because they wanted me to come in thinking that nobody was up. So they just hid in the dark. And as soon as it's funny because I got in worse trouble for lesser things. But this time here, I think they were just so shocked they didn't know what to do. And so all my dad did, he goes, "Oh, so you want to smoke, do you?" So he made me sit across the table from him. So my mom's sitting there and he says, "You want to smoke?" Okay. He'd make me, so I'd start up, he said, "Start up that cigarette." And he would make me smoke that all and then start another one. And then he would make me smoke another. He wanted to make me sick. But I just sat there and I was just smoking away and visiting with my parents. And I think because I didn't act scared and I just started smoking one after the other. And my dad and mom just said, "Go to bed." And then we never spoke of it again. You know, and it's funny, for lesser things, I got in worse trouble. And for that one, it was almost like they were just so stunned. What are you taking the car for? You're 12. Yeah. But I always just, it didn't matter if it was skiing or bike riding or driving a car. I struggled in team sports. Like I couldn't figure out, my brain could not scan and figure out what everybody was doing. So nobody wanted me on their team. But you put me on a bicycle behind the wheel of a vehicle, you put me on skis, water skis, snow skis. I would just sort of get the hang of it like right now. My brain was just really hardwired for that. Anyways, let's see what. Okay, I'm coming back up here. I went back to video production because it started up again. Oh, okay. So you went and got your commercial driver's license, sort of like, okay, we're not busy right now. It gives you another job option to work. Well, did you drive for a bit? I did not drive. Oh, you did not drive. Okay. Vegas entertainment was dead, so I had to try for commercial driver's license. Yeah, well, that's good now because now you have it, right? And it's just sitting there and you can always, I mean, you're 63 and still working. Very amazing. Mom and dad waiting. Yeah. Oh, they were. Yeah. Yeah. And I think the only reason I really got away with it, because as soon as I turned on the light and they were sitting there and it was like, "Oh, hi, mom, hi, dad." I just very casually, as if, this was a normal thing to do. And I think I shocked them that I was just like, "Oh, okay." I sat there smoking with them and yeah, it was to surprise you. Yeah, they left the lights off because I was busted, but they didn't want me to see the lights were on when I drove up in the driveway. But now you put me into a team of sports group. My brain cannot comprehend like how to play hockey or how to play soccer because I'm just gonna miss every cue, right? I'm gonna miss every cue. Just the way my brain is hardwired. I really struggled in team sports. My brain was just not geared to comprehend how that goes. My sister, on the other hand, she loved basketball. And like she would say to me, we were talking about this the other day, and she said, I wasn't really that great. I said, well, she said, I was never the best on the team. And I said, yeah, but you loved it so much that you figured it out and you got better and you managed to be a part of the team. And that was really cool that you could do that. I always remember being amazed that my sister could do that. We're all different, right? And right now, like my sister, what is it called? Pickleball. So she lives on a lake. Her and my other sister have a cabin side by side, and there's things to do out there. And so she's involved in pickleball, which is not something that I would do, right? We're all so different. Okay, so same with camera op. Just like you and driving, I believe it's ADD, too many things to focus on. So we can focus on one thing. Yes, I need to be like this, and then you're just amazing once you get it, you're like so good at it. Okay, and you think it's ADD. And from my experience, it's autism and dyslexia. But ADD, yep, I've heard other people talking about ADD. We're all on the spectrum. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why I love gymnastics. It's just my brain can do the one thing and just keep practicing it. And so you're keeping quite busy with the camera. It's camera operations in Vegas. In Vegas. My sister's been to Vegas. Both my sisters, I think, have been to Vegas. They travel a little bit sometimes, and autism, yeah. See, when I was between the ages of 0, like just born and 1, my mom thought I was deaf, but that's just the autism. Because she would say, and then as we got older, my older sister, my younger sister would respond to verbal communication, and I just wouldn't respond to it the same way they would. And so it shows up quite early sometimes. Yeah. And I think that's part of why, like, I'm very content with my own company. And so I just go to the river and you're like looking at rocks and what's this plant, and your brain just, and when I do that, just the beta waves, everything feels so relaxed. But if I have to go into like groups overwhelm me because I'm trying to skip the rope and figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm just going to get it wrong. And so then it gets like your brain is just working so hard and you're just so exhausted when you're done. So I'd rather be like you. I'm the camera person. I'll show up, but I'm just going to go around and I'll take pictures. And now I feel like I kind of fit in and I can give a nice gift to everybody, but I'm not trying to figure out how the group dynamics work. I'm not very good at that. Yes, autism, dyslexia. These are actually abilities, not disabilities. If you can identify what it is and then find a way to make it work, they become very, like my counselor said, Chris, she said to me, you got to remember, Julie, it's like you have a superpower. So when I go into a group dynamic and the way that my brain thinks, people are kind of looking at you like, huh? And she says, because the things that you can kind of figure out because of the autism, it's sort of like having a superpower. And yeah, people are just going to be kind of like, how did she do that? Yeah, I think we should all just be ourselves. And if you're great at team sports, then be that. If you're not, and you're better at bike riding, then be that. Do what you love. Do what you're good at. Be who you are. Some of us are busier than others. We also have slow times like now when it's super hot. I guess so if you make enough, if the job pays enough and the benefits are there, and then you have slow times and you manage your finances properly, then you can really embrace those times off and, do something that you love. Maybe it's skiing or going hiking. Maybe you like going to movies or something. You can do something that you love with that time. But I mean, there are people that just love to work, and on their time off, they don't know what to do with themselves. In your own company? Some of us are. Okay, so what do you mean your own company? You have your own company? Is this in photography? Mm-hmm. Oh, I better put on my. Where did I put that thing? Here we go. I'll be right back. It is autism. Can lean on the sides of art and math. Yeah, and I'm not very good at math. Everything is creativity for me. My brain is in this constant state of creation. And that's why you see with autism, people will sit every day and sit at the table all in groups and they'll talk about the same problem for 10 years. Where my brain comes in and I'm sitting, if I might sit for one coffee with you and you're talking about a problem, but my brain's already solved the problem in 10 different ways. And I'm just like, if I show up a month later and we're all talking about the same problem, I'm sort of just like, yeah, but you could have solved this problem. Why are we still talking about this? But it was hard for my brain to comprehend that that's part of how people socialize, right? That they actually just want to have a little bitch and talk and they don't, they're actually really happy talking about the same problem. They don't really have any plans on solving the problem. Where my brain can't comprehend that way of thinking. Like, I'm not going to talk about the same thing every day for 10 years. I'm going to fix it. Or I'm going to go somewhere else. But that's normal in a lot of social dynamics where people just enjoy, hey, how you doing there, John? Or how you doing, Sally? Yeah, pour the coffee. Yeah, I'm still pissed off about that. Yeah, yeah. And they enjoy that. Mostly keep to yourself in your room. It's those quiet times when you can rebuild up, hey? You sound a little under the weather. Yes, I am. I've got a cold. I've got a running nose, gravelly throat. Oh, thank you, Buma. Buma says you sound a little under the weather. If you are, I hope you feel better. Love your channel. Yeah, I do feel a little under the weather, but my mom said to me last night, because I've been sick for maybe 4 or 5 days now, and so I went to the river yesterday, and she's just like, geez, you are doing better than you were 99 days ago. You're sick and you're going to the river still. Yeah. Because it helps me when I go to the river. Thank you for dropping in, Buma. See, when you live the first part of your life with undiagnosed something like autism, you think everybody else has the same thing going on. And you actually learn later on, oh, not everybody thinks this way. Oh. So yeah, not so much on the maths, but I'm just everything. I think that's why I'm so good at solving social problems, is because my brain just goes into creative mode on, you could solve it this way, you could solve it that way, you could do this, you could do that. And then everybody will be like, how did you solve that problem? I'm like, because I don't think inside the box. In fact, my brain struggles to think inside the box. I have to work really hard to think inside the box. My brain automatically is running outside the box. And so when you can be creative instead of, oh, mathematically, you could do this, this, and this. Math is good. Just like when I'm healing, I'm math is like, okay, your supplements, your sleep, plus exercise, plus positive energies. That is math to a degree, like and balance. But when you want to solve a problem and people think it's unsolvable, my brain just goes in and yeah, I can get results like no other. However, I'm kind of shying away from all that and just using my gifts to heal myself instead of everybody else because I really care. And then somebody will say, oh, this, this really hurt me or this happened, and I can go in and make their life better. But I had to learn to sort of take care of myself. Instead of, and when you take care of yourself, you automatically can take care of others better. If you don't take care of yourself, then you're no good to anybody. I learned to art. Math is over with one mistake. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think is, if you start doing math, that you're being logical, which we all need to be logical, right? You got to pay your bills. You need to exercise if you want to stay healthy. You need to eat a certain way if you want to stay healthy. You need to associate with that, and that's math by going do this, this, and this, right? If you get this and this is what you're going to get. Though I can tell you a really interesting story about math. I had my daughter in some tutoring with math once. And I remember her and the tutor were struggling to get the answer. And they were like, oh, I just love this challenge, right? And I'm sitting over here because I didn't want to teach math because I don't like math. So finally, they're going on and on for 20 minutes, a half hour. And then the tutor looks at me and she goes, let's give this problem to Mom. And so the tutor hands this math problem over to Mom. And I just went, listen, okay, that's the answer. And I just remember the tutor looking at me and she goes, you're right. She said that is the answer. And I answered it just like that. And I'm just like, oh, I'm paying this tutor. And they couldn't figure out the answer. And I still just remember her saying, hey, Michelle, let's see if your mom can figure this out. And so I was like, I don't want to figure that out. And she just pushed the paper over to me. And I went, okay, here's your answer. And she was just like, just a minute. She goes, you're right. And I even was able to tell her how I solved the problem. Just like that. But I'm not happy when I'm doing math. I don't like it. Of course, I'm usually a quiet viewer. Oh, Booma. Of course, I'm usually a quiet viewer, but I wanted to send you well wishes since you're sick. Oh, thank you. Oh, so because I'm gonna have to mark Booma down here since you're quiet in the background. That's really cool. Booma. And I love the handle. Booma dash K8 N 3 and C. Yeah. There. True about autism, smart and quick with solutions. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So you must be good at math, Crystal, because you said I lean to art. math is over in one mistake. So you are good at math. Okay, hang on. I gotta. Hang on. Oh my God, it was really something else because I shocked the tutor. I just remember her saying, let's see if your mom can solve this. And they pushed the problem for me. And it was just, I mean, we learned all this in school, right? It was a different time. So we had learned a certain thing in our brains that the newer generations hadn't. So even though I wasn't great at math, I had learned the basics of something that the kids didn't. Like say even counting change, right? So my daughter has a bachelor in commerce, like she's a graduate from the university, and I would always blow her mind. She'd give me some money and then I would count out the change and give it back to her. And she'd go, Mom. And then she'd count and she'd go, you're right. See, because our generation didn't learn what we learned in school. So there's certain things now that so I'm not good at math, but what happened is I'd learned certain formulas in school that our kids didn't learn because now they're using the calculator. And so when that tutor, who she was way better at math than I was, but because I understood something from what I learned, because I was one of the generations where we learned certain things and it was basic, that I just went, and I gave it back to her. That's why that happened, is because of the generation I was born into, as opposed to where my daughter and Kelsey were born into, the tutor. That's why I was able to come up with that answer really quickly, is because in my generation we had learned how to do that. Oh, you're not good at math. I quit after algebra. Yeah. Well, I made it to grade 10 in school because I was in special help classes. And then in 1986, I couldn't make it through to grade 11 and 12 because I didn't have the support. There was a lot going on in my life at that time, so school was not easy for me. So interesting what you said about learning the basics is gone in education. Yeah, because literally it's not like I was better in math at her. Like, but the way they teach now, that's the only reason that worked. But both Kelsey, the tutor for my daughter, was shocked. But again, my daughter, she worked in the bank. She did auditing. And then she would say, oh, here's this money and I need change. And I go, okay. And I'd hand it back to her and she'd be like, Mom. And then because she knows I'm not very good at math and she's all graduated from university. And I'm just like, yeah, that's the right amount. And then she'd count it back. And there's a joke out there that the new generation, it's sort of a joke that is between the old generation of how we learn math and the new generation. And so when people, if you, I should try to find that, but so are you new generation when we can do that? It was a little cartoon. It was funny, but it goes, when you see somebody that can do math in their head, witchcraft. I laughed so hard when I saw that little cartoon because I was just like, yeah, that's exactly how they look at you, the new generation, when you can count change back. Or you can solve these simple math problems just going, yeah, that's the answer. They look at you like you're some kind of wizard. Like, how did you do that? Yeah, I was done in grade 10. But then I went on to college, and there was assistants in college. I remember her name was Malhina. She was my assistant, or learning assistant teacher, and when I took long-term care and social services, before I had learned how to read and write like I can now. I could probably figure it out better now. Yeah. Thank you for dropping in, Booma. And I feel better already with your wishes of me feeling better. Feels like I'm going to try and blow that feeling out of my head. Okay, so there's that communication. There you go. There's these supplies. I'm going to do this, and this. And this all has to go over here with this. And put that here. And then I can get rid of this one. No. Okay. Your phone died for a minute. My died for a minute. Okay. I can get that one down there. Let's put that there. Okay. Okay, and that can go down. Let's try. Okay. I should redo this. Let's redo this. 65 earn unlimited. Oh, I gotta do that. I guess I can get rid of that now. Okay, that's good to keep. I'm gonna redo that. Okay, let's just bring all this over. Yeah, so tomorrow. That was my sister. What was this here? Yeah, I gotta keep that one. Let's fold that up. And now what I'm gonna do, that goes in here, but I'm also gonna put this in here as well. And then, ooh, I gotta go over that. Okay, so we're gonna do this tomorrow, this tomorrow. Oh, I thought, may I ask what city you're in? Yes, of course. I'm in Prince George, British Columbia, Canada. Yes, in Canada. I'm Prince George. I'm in British Columbia. I was born in Whitecourt, but I moved here to Prince George when I was 3 years old. Prince George, British Columbia, Canada. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. And in every direction you go, I mean, there's camping and fishing and lakes and, oh, it's just beautiful here. Just beautiful. And way over there in Las Vegas. Viva la difference. Oh, okay, I'm going to put this in. That's my to-do list. I'm going to put this over here. I'm gonna go shred those things there. That's a recipe. I like to look up the weather of friends, so I will program my phone to do that. Cool. Okay. And for weather, yeah, today is 21 in Prince George. Yesterday, lots of lightning. No lightning today. So when I bring this live together and move out, I will be then heading to the river to do my workout. And I think I'll get out early enough today. I'm going to do McMillan Creek, do a little bit on McMillan Creek, and then do my workout at the playground. And what I'm working on at the playground, because I'm doing gymnastics, what I'm working on. So I've got my cartwheel back. I got it so I could stand on my hands for about 3 seconds, which is really good. I used to be able to just walk for a really long ways on my hands. I can't, but I'm getting my balance there. But I'm wanting to do a flip. And so I'm doing some exercise at the park right now to see if I can get my flip and back walkover back on the iPhone weather app. So on your iPhone weather app, okay, so Crystal. What's the weather there today, Crystal? It's 21 here. Okay. Yes, I love gymnastics. And I'm on day 99. Tomorrow's going to be day 100 of my live streams here. And I'm getting more muscle, more flexibility. The inflammation's coming down with everything I'm doing and all the beautiful energy coming in with my live streams. It's just helped my health on so many levels. But what I like about gymnastics, and I'll tell you why I want to get back into that. Well, I'm already back into it, but seeing if I can get back the things I used to do is because when you can move your body and get it to move in different ways, you're opening up your chakras. And it's just amazing when you build, flip. Yeah. And just my dad taught me these things when we were kids. My dad could walk on his hands, he could do a handspring, a flip, and he taught me how to do all that. The only time I ever did gymnastics training was in high school when that was the class activity. But the gymnastics that I did learn, my dad taught me how to do it because he could do all that, walk on his hands, do flips. And so, and he would, while you're doing a flip, he would spot you until you learned how to do it. And then went until I could do it on my own. Yeah. What's the weather right now in Vegas? I missed you, Tibet. Hi. How did I miss that? I totally missed you. Hi, Tibet. Did you get any information on did you get any information on the binder? Binder for parasite cleansing. Do you have any information on that? Tibet. Mm-hmm. 104. How does that work? So if we're 21 here, you're in the States, so what is that? Degrees. We're 21 degrees. Okay, so Tibet says Ben Ton Ait Clay and activated carbon is usually used as a binder. Is usually used as a binder. Okay, now what I'm thinking, Tibet, with the bentonite clay and activated carbon, or just going back to the concept of doing a binder, I believe what that's all about is that once you do the parasite cleansing with whatever recipe you choose, this one, I got a cold, so excuse me, green walnut husk extract or tincture, woodworm and cloves. I eat cloves all the time. But like you mentioned, woodworm, you have to be careful because it can be toxic at large amounts. But what I'm thinking this binder is all about, so you do it 2 weeks after the parasite cleanse. And I'm thinking the whole concept of binders is to get, so you've killed the parasites, and now the binder is gonna, there's gonna be dead parasites in your body, just like when you use probiotics, it kills off the bugs, but now you can feel sick a bit because the dead bugs are in your body. Is that what a binder's all about, is removing what you killed with the parasite cleansing, the probiotic cleansing? Am I on the right track, Tibet, on that the reasoning for the binder cleansing is to clean out what you've killed, the bad stuff? Oh, okay, yeah, so Crystal knows, in Celsius, where, okay, the cold is making me sneeze quite a bit. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze here, hang on. Okay, so Crystal knows the binder sweep out in it out sweeps its toxins out. Okay, so that okay, so the apologies, I completely forgot about the binder. We have active fires here. Oh, in the area, so do we. Yes, and I am preparing my land for in case. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah, there's people being evacuated around not close to my area at this time. Okay, mm. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Um, Tibet, can you remind me? I know you have 80 people that you care for. No, I'm not going to ask you this right now. You're busy containing a fire. Okay, yeah, and I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm not asking any questions. You've got enough on your plate. Okay, and Crystal, so the parasites poop too. Ah, that's oh. Okay, yes. Oh, so Tibet and the parasites create die off. To remove it, we use binders. And you got, yes, Crystal, with what is that? The sun wheel and one of these from Tibet. Okay. All right. I wonder if that's why I got so sick when I took probiotics. It helped with the inflammation, but I took the probiotics. Maybe it flooded my system with the dead bugs. I'm just guessing. I don't know. People get sick, right? You touch something. I'm here. Please feel free to ask. Well, now that I've got this journal here. Oh no, hang on. I've got it written down here. Let me see if I think I've got it written down already. I got to just transfer it all over here. Let me. All right. Where have I got Tibet written down? I know I've got the information on you here already somewhere. How do I not have that? Oh, it must be right here. Hang on. Tibet. I guess I don't. How do I not have you on here? I'm gonna have to ask. Okay, I'm gonna rate that. Wow, I just can't believe I don't have you on here. I'm gonna get a full page for you here. I've been writing your comments down, but I want to. Okay, so I'm just gonna write that. Hang on. Hello, Ross from Kelowna. Ross has been around for quite some time. My sister operates out of Kelowna. She does. She's in the wine industry. She markets for the wine. How's everything in Kelowna today? How's the smoke there in Kelowna, Ross? So the question I'm going to ask Tibet, I'm just going to write this down first. Okay. So prebiotics. So should I be taking prebiotics? Prebiotics. I thought prebiotics were the food. I thought a prebiotic was the food that the probiotic eats. Your body now has the tools to fight what's causing you to feel ill, what's causing you to feel ill. But it's a good sign it's working. But it's what's a good sign it's working? If you get sick and your nose runs, because when I took this liquid probiotic, a lot of the bloating in my stomach and the inflammation in my face and everything in my hands felt better. But then I got really sick from when I took the probiotic. Like my nose started to run. Sorry, probiotic. Yeah, it was a mistype. Hello from... Hi, Mike. How you doing, Mike? I got a cold right now. That's why I sound funny. Hello from... Okay. Let's just bring Mike over here. I'm going to write Mike's down. Okay, so Mike... B5... B5T from never heard of that before. Not bad. Not bad. We're just discussing probiotics and then parasite cleansings. Crystal, it's a good sign, though your stomach is reacting, it's working. Do you, pardon me, because when I took the probiotics, I got, just everything started like, must be cleaning everything out, all the junk. Interesting. No, actually, that's not true. Hang on a minute. My throat got sore, and then I went and got the probiotics. Okay, never mind. So, no, I've caught a cold of some kind. That's what it is. Mm. Yeah, probiotics work very similar to cleansing. Oh, my question to you, Tibet, was I know you have 80 people that you oversee on a health level, so like a doctor. Um, can you remind me of the town you are in Africa? I know you're in eastern southern Africa. I would like to write that down here. Can Oh, Leone. Are you in Sierra Leone? No, you're not actually. Oh, hang on a minute. Where are you from, Tibet? I'm getting you mixed up with somebody that's a healer in Sierra Leone, capital Freetown, Africa. Where are you from? Mhm. Yeah, a little bit low on the energy. Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Um, a bit low, I think. Okay, so on a follow-up from Tibet, we've got bentonite clay and activated carbon is usually used as a binder. Oh, my me, sorry. You're always bringing something fun or interesting, Mike. You're always so kind. Yeah, I guess I'm a little low energy, but I'm still going to the river. I'm not pushing myself. I'm just going to walk there slowly and do my workout. Cleansing, low energy from cleansing. Then you feel better when it. Yeah, that's what Tibet was saying the other day, Crystal. I'm just hoping that Tibet says where he's from. Because I was thinking, because Africa consists. Are you from Africa? I'm thinking of Baha Sharif. I got you guys mixed up, and that's charcoal for cleansing. I didn't mean you have low energy. Oh, you meant the cleansing. Yeah, the cleansing will bring low energy. Yeah, but you're going to feel better in the long run. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't we just do this, Crystal? What was it in the beginning here? You said something. I didn't mean you. What the heck was that? We just did that again. Let me go right up to the top. It's up there. Let me see. You're right. I can't remember, but you and I just did this. So it's somewhere in there where you said something and I know I meant this. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Mike. And Crystal says, hi, Mike. Yeah, we just did this too. You'll say something and I wasn't talking about you. Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying. Of course, you don't have to say where you're from, Tibet, but if you want to. I thought you overseer of 80 different people in your community for your knowledge on herbs. I missed the first 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it always sort of takes a while for the live stream. I'm originally from South Africa. Originally from South. It would be hot there. Wow. Africa. However, I have not been there in nearly 12 years. 12 years. Okay. I live on Western Turkey. Really? Live on Western Turkey. That's a jump. So you're in Western Turkey. See, I keep thinking that you were in Sierra Leone, but that's Bahashara. Among the Uruk people on a medicine mountain. On a medicine mountain. So all these, so you, like the other day when I was, I didn't forge them. Oh, Tibet, the ghost pipes. I'll show you what I've got here. I'm going to get a little sample to show. Let's, where is that thing? Yeah, well, you will use this. Okay. So this is the ghost pipes. I don't know if you can see that, but this is my ghost pipe medicine. So I forged ghost pipes. And I'm going to show you something here. So ghost pipes are very, very obvious. Oh, no, Indian pipes. Yeah, we call them ghost pipes sometimes. But now I'm going to show you what happens to the ghost pipes. Hang on a minute here. No. Can you see how it turns black? So that's actually ghost pipes. So this is full of 100 proof vodka. And you can see I've made this medicine August of 24. So 2 years ago it's been sitting here. And I made it for treating pain. But you had mentioned, so here's the ghost pipes. This is, you just stir it up and down once in a while and then put it back in a dark, cool place. But you can see the ghost pipes are white, but look at the medicine that they make it. They turn dark when you make the medicine. And like Tibet had said, they are toxic in large amounts, so you need to know. So like you wouldn't consume all that. I'll leave that separate now. But Tibet had said on ghost pipes, Indian pipes, I keep calling them ghost pipes. That's what we call them. But yes, Indian pipes used for removal of stagnant energy and spiritual rot. It can be a painkiller, but also a powerful grasp on the ancestral world as it is used to settle relationships within. as well as those who live in the spiritual realms and worlds. And Tibet, yes, I can understand this part where you said use in microdoses with caution. It is toxic in large doses and needs to be respected as a sacred plant alliance. Yeah, Indian pipes are white, but they make when you make the medicine, it turns black or dark brown. Put that back. Now, and I would just take a little dropper full, take 1 to 3 drops if I was going to be treating pain. Yeah, ghost pipes. If you look at my YouTube channel and then write Healing with Cookham Ghost Pipes, there's several videos on ghost pipes. That's beautiful. Now that's one of the things I love about making the medicine with 100 proof vodka as opposed to olive oil, because it doesn't go rancid that way. And so now I'm not going back every year and reforging. I don't have to keep remaking the medicine. And especially with something like ghost pipes, because they're rare. When you do find a patch, there's lots, but I think from the research I've done, they could be endangered. So you got to really be careful when you're foraging for ghost pipes. So now that I've made the medicine, I don't have to keep going back and, just taking more and more. No, I don't actually. I don't have a drink of that once in a while. No, because it's just sitting there, and I might, if I had pain or something, I might try it with pain, but I don't have any pain. I have more brain fog. And I'm going to do some more research on that one here. But so I knew it was a painkiller, and then Tibet had shared some more, saying it was for removal of stagnant energy and spiritual rot. So that's on a spiritual level. It can be a painkiller, is what Tibet wrote, and that's all I ever made it for, was for pain, but also as a powerful grasp on the ancestral world. So for meditation, I guess, is what that would be, as it is used to settle relationships. So I guess on that level, perhaps people would use it for meditation, but I made it specifically understanding that people used it for pain, but also that it could be toxic in large amounts. So most of my medicines just sit on the shelf in vodka, and I've tried the birch polypore, I've tried red belted conch, and on one occasion I tried the ghost pipes because it was also supposed to help you relax, and I didn't overly care for how and just a drop. No, I'm already struggling with energy, so I didn't overly care for it. I've tried I did try it the one time in the 2 years, one day, and it's very subtle. I took such a little amount, like you take 1 to 3 drops of what I just showed you there, and I kind of felt like it made me feel tired. I didn't like it. No, I don't have a drink once in a while, but I would try it because it did say it helps on a mental health level as well. I thought I would try a drop, but it wasn't my favorite. I love the ghost pipe plant. And what I tend to do a lot of times because I make the medicine in alcohol, I try to connect with the plant while it's in the ground instead of forging it. And a lot like what Tibet said here, it's used for removal of stagnant energy and spiritual rot. So instead of taking it and ingesting it, I've already got the medicine there that I can experience with over the years. But I'll even just talk to the plant, and I'll remember, say for instance, what Tibet taught here about the use for removal of stagnant energy and spiritual rot. So instead of forging or even ingesting it, I would just pray to the plant. I would thank you for its presence, and I would ask the plant, to remove the stagnant energy and any spiritual rot, that I could heal and become stronger and do better work. And so I tend to do more of that than forging everything. But with that said, because I make my medicine, I'm going to show you all my medicine. I think I've already done that before, but I'll show you all the medicine. Not all of it, but some of it here. So we're just going to go into my, kind of messy right now, but this is probably the one here. So I got the mullein leaf. I've got mullein leaf. I take that the most, I would say, to help clear my throat. But with that, I also take this pitch here, this spruce pitch, to help clear out my throat. The birch polypore I have used to stop bleeding when I had a cut at home. And I've got a couple bottles of the birch polypore. And as you can see, these were all made in 2024. And so I haven't gone out. These are all empty bottles waiting for, I clear them out. I buy this olive oil, and when it's empty, I clean out the bottle. So I've got several of these empty bottles. So right now I've got the birch polypore, I've got velvet top fungus, I've got the red belted conch. These are all been sitting in a vodka for a couple years. And then like way over here, I have the ghost pipe sitting here in the corner. Usually the light's off, so it's not as bright in here. But I've just got lots of different plants that I've forged. Here's witch's butter. That's a witch's butter, and it's really jelly-like. So you put it in. It's got a little bit of dirt, but I cleaned it the best I could. But the vodka, you can see I've used quite a bit of this. I was using it on my hands, and it turns jelly-ish. I've got evening primrose here, not in dark containers, so not the best, but I keep them in the dark. So that's what. And I did the evening primrose in September 2024. Red clover in 2024, and then there's a small one for the birch polypore, and there's the one with the droppers for the birch polypore. But I've got all the different herbs and stuff, so I can make tea. So I do little tea readings, collect all the different plants. There's some chaga. I found chaga. I harvest a little bit of chaga. My sister gave me this lavender. That's her from her garden. This is lilac. This one here is mountain bluet, the flower of mountain bluet. And that's the yarrow. This one here is stinging nettle. And here's the cloves. So I've already got the cloves for this binder detox that you're talking about. But you were talking about yarrow. This is the yarrow Tibet. So you were mentioning that it can be used for inflammation. It can also be used for stopping blood. I get all my essential oils out of Green Valley. So I got the vetiver, rosemary, juniper berry. I buy it in bulk and I give it out as gifts. So I do gifts for people. When, like trading, if somebody give you some deer meat, I might give them, I do a lot of trading for oils when I do trades. And I got the cedar wood, frankincense, geranium. There's the lavender, high up lavender. And then in here is all, that's all mullein leaf, which I also use to clear my throat. Actually, I should probably do some mullein leaf right now with my cold. And then I've got Third Eye. There's Third Eye. It's a blend from, but this is one of the things I was thinking of doing for the people that help my channel, like my moderators, is that once a year, because I did some research with my sister, like as far as for sharing like the wealth with people, it can get very complicated because of like, say if somebody didn't pay their taxes and stuff like that, and especially if you're dealing out of country. And so I thought, when the year ends, because I always do all my gifts in oils for the most part, I could do a little oil to send to the people that, that my moderators, and do a little surprise of oil for them once a year. Just an idea. Who doesn't love essential oils? This is flax I buy from Costco. I eat a lot of flax. And chai seed. I got these bottles to make medicine, to put medicine in. And, then I just bought some cinnamon sticks. You can chew on those. Cooking with beans, lots of beans and stuff. But, that's part of my medicine cabinet. That's just the beginning. Oh, down here I've got more evening primrose. Is mugwort. I got the mugwort, and I put the black cumin seeds in here and make medicine. Mostly over here is just my cooking supply. So you got your pepper. I need cayenne pepper. I made something the other day and I didn't have the cayenne pepper. So I got my healthy salts. And there's some, I want to plant some mint. These are just seeds here, right in there. That's dried horseradish leaf, mint, arugula, and the bay leaves. This is mostly just for cooking. I got the nutmeg, garlic, turmeric. This is all bought in this stuff. Curry. And there's some more of that. Cloves. I just take cloves and I just eat them plain. I just chew on them. I love them. Yeah. And then there's even more. There's even more medicine over here. And my house is a mess right now, but there's some juniper berry. And again, this is lavender that my sister, she gifts me. She gifts me that. Rose petals for tea. Rose buds. Like, I like to do tea readings with people. I'm going to incorporate that into my lives. That says mullein leaf. I have that in the wrong. That's not mullein leaf. That's tiger lily. I'm going to have to change it. I better take that down. How did I do that? And this is ground artist bracket fungus. And some dried yarrow. This here is the birch polypore. You've seen I made medicine from the birch polypore, which is a good blood stopper, but not all of it is put in vodka. I've got this stuff here where I can make a tea from it. So that's all dried, ground. I dried it and I ground it up in the blender. I've got, again, rose petals. This is lichen, which you can use as a Band-Aid. You can put it on wounds. And just different rocks that I collect. But there's some more yarrow. I've got quite a bit of yarrow. There's my jar of agates. They're beautiful. I wonder if I have my jar of agates there that I collect. And I make torches from the mullein. So these are my mullein torches that you start it with a bit of a torch flame. It'll burn for hours, a couple hours. So I pull those up. I found this one that's curved. I'm going to make you can see I don't have the wax on it yet, but I'll make a torch out of that. I do have a lot of yarrow, but see, this stuff is the pink yarrow. So I picked that one because it's pink yarrow. And then, of course, that's poisonous. It's poppy seeds. You're not going to want to eat that. There's my little medicine grinder. And this guy here, his name is Phra Afe Mani from Thailand, and he plays his magical flute. And when he plays his magical flute, it magically gets everyone to start treating each other better, forgiving each other. Everybody's full of happiness and forgiveness. And so Phra Afe Mani, he sits here on the shelf and plays his flute and magically makes everyone start getting along. And so sometimes I will play my flute. I bought this flute, and I will play it with Phra Afe Mani and ask to magically enchant the people that we start loving. Oh, look at, I'm going to show you this. I don't know if you're still here, Tibet, but hang on a minute. I'm going to bring that up closer. But this piece here, that's a dried ghost pipe. See how it turns brown when it dries? That's the ghost pipe. That's a ghost pipe. I've got 3 of them that I've kept, that I didn't put them in the medicine. So there's 3 of them, of the ghost pipes. So they're so white. Well, there's actually 4. There's another one there. And then when I do my tea readings, I got my magical teapot. So up there with Phra Afe Mani, making medicine. And yeah, here we go. There's all my clothes hanging in the closet. Oh, and everybody needs a jar of buttons, right? It's a little bit random. I think I still got a little bit more medicine over here. Not too much, a little bit. Here we go. So this is my little, I love these prickly pear cactuses. This one's actually called roadkill cactus. These ones here are the prickly pear cactus. And I just love the prickly pear cactus. It's been in my life for a very long time. Just different medicines here. That's some more, what do you call it? It's not lavender, lilac. And that's just more arugula. And I'll dry my orange peels for my tea readings. I do the tea readings. And there's just the cool things you find when you're walking. And how do you like my laugh out loud? See? Laugh out loud. My rocks that say laugh out loud. And remember we found this on one of my lives the other day? I'm trying to figure out what it is. It says it's a sheep knuckle, but there's no history of sheeps. It's really washed down from the river. I got to get a better light on this. Oh, here's some more medicine. I always forget how much medicine I have. Here's the horse hoof. And then the more domestic rosebuds. More of my agates. Horseradish. That's oh, what do you call it? I've actually got it. I just showed it to you guys. It's chaga. Yeah. And these are all jars of pitch that I've melted down first so I can start fires and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I want to show you this here, but let me try. Let me take this up here. So this is what we found. Remember, that's an okay light, but we found that on McMillan Creek. And it's so worn down from the water. It's hard to find what it is. I gotta get a better light on that. Hang on a minute. There's got to be a better light. Just a minute. I wonder if I set it right like this. I'm going to set it there. So if you look at that, I want to see how it looks like bone. Oh, hang on a second. It's still not a very good light. But if you look at that right there, it looks like a piece of a bone that's snapped off. But this I found the other day on my live at McMillan Creek, and it comes up as a sheep knuckle on on lens identifier. I'm going to set this right here. Let's look at it right there. There, that's better. So that was found on McMillan Creek just a week ago. And then I'll show you one thing before I switch it back. I'll just show you the front here. So now, when I want to talk to someone telepathically, I have my little fairy jar with 2 feathers in it at the top. And I use it. So when I put these little salsify seeds out the window, if they go up, it means my message has been sent. But if they just fall to the ground, it means I need to try to send my message at a different time. These are the seeds of salsify. And I top it with my 2 little feathers. But this one here is my fairy jar. And in my fairy jar is my dragonfly with a wasp's nest, and it's full of Amanita muscaria mushroom, which is a hallucinogenic mushroom. So I do collect these mushrooms, but I do not ingest them at all because they can be hallucinogenic. But I did make a fairy jar out of them. And then up on top, topping my fairy jar this is called artist bracket fungus. And so there's my fairy jar right there. And that's a beautiful pine cone with Amanita muscaria. Yeah. Anyways. Every once in a while we get on a tour around my home. That was a little tour today. All right, let's put that back up. I hope you enjoyed that tour. We'll see what people said. I think that's about the 3rd time I showed everybody the natural medicine that I made. And I barely ever touch it. I barely ever consume any of it. Hydrated lady. I started service after my heart. Your heart stopped. Okay, I gotta write this down. I'm gonna write down what Tibet said here. You started your service. That's wrong. Guess I'll have to bring that over here. Okay, so started your service after your heart stopped. Wow. After your heart stopped, that's pretty serious. That is an awakening. Then I was declared clinically dead for 8 minutes. So maybe you weren't taking care of your health. I saw the spirit world. Saw the spirit world. Spirit world. And my life changed after 5 years of recovery. Yeah, that changed after 5 years. Yeah, it changes you. You realize how important your health is. Okay, I will look for ghost pipes. You can look for ghost pipes. Yeah, I find them rare. I find them hard to find, but I know where they grow. And I know they're in different places in Prince George, and then Mike, thank you, Mike. And then what did you send? Is that a turkey? What did Mike send? I'll always screenshot them if I can't quite see what Mike's saying. Okay. And so Tibet for pain, I prefer willow bark. Yeah, because it has the same thing, same element in it as aspirin, as a painkiller. So let's go back to ghost pipes. I'm going to take ghost pipes, also willow for pain. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't care for the Indian pipes. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for that. Mm-hmm. Just never use it more than half a moon cycle. That's it. Okay. Mike retracted a message. Crystal. Crystal. you got your magnet. Do you enjoy that tour of Cookham's apothecary? Oh, there's Scottish Lass. Hi, Julie. Chat caught alive at last. Wow. I mean, because you're in Scotland, it's 2 in the afternoon right now. I mean, what time is it for you right now, Scottish Lass? And Scottish Lass says, hi, Crystal. In Tibet, is that? No, I don't have. I'm going to write that down. So is that? I don't have anything called high T. Put a couple question marks there. Okay, that's so nice. So you must have been there for the tour. What about your pet? Oh, you saw my cat? That's Coca. Here, I'll show you Coca again. I'll go. She was my buddy when I was truck driving. She rode in the truck with me all through the Kootenays and to Vancouver and southern British Columbia. We were buddies. She was my buddy. This is Coca. The reflection here. That's Coca. And then my stepdaughter Cassie, her mom gave her this Polaroid camera for Christmas in was it 2011 or something? And she took this picture of Coca just before she died underneath the coffee table. That's me when I was 5. That's funny. And then this is another picture of Coca sitting on my big chair. Oh, look at her. Isn't she cute? That's Coca. And then I think the one that Mike saw, just a minute, you must have saw Coca. There's Coca right there. I've got her in a little charm, a locket charm. So there's this like little locket. You can close it. It's like this. You can actually wear it as a necklace around your neck. So she was my buddy. And so she sits in my cupboard here. That's Coca. Now to beat my Coca. Isn't she cute? She just showed up on my doorstep one day. She just showed up on my doorstep. Okay. Hi, Mike. Yeah, you were on to Coca. That's an impressive selection. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's why I was, like I said to you, when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. And so you've been a real blessing and a game changer, and just sort of bringing the focus on spirituality and healing. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal says, so thoughtful. Scottish Lass, what a lovely collection. Yeah. And like I said, what I love about it is now, I mean, that's 2 years ago, and I don't go back and keep forging and clearing everything out. That medicine will be sitting there 20 years from now and will still be good because it's sitting in vodka. The longer it sits, the more it pulls out the medicinal properties. Have you collected most of them by yourself? Yeah, I collect them all by myself. I'm barely, I really sort of love puttering. Just, I love being by myself. I'd wholly be by myself. Yeah, I did all the collecting on my own, just walking in the forests. I go way back into the forests and through. I haven't done a lot of walking this year because I've been doing my live stream for the medical team, and I had to get my health back because I was getting more brain fog and everything, but it's coming back because of this beautiful energy on the live streams here. Black seed is a healer in the Bible. Okay, I'm gonna write that down from Crystal. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna do a new page for Crystal because I've already filled that one up. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do Crystal again on the black seed. So Crystal black seed. So black. Black seed is a healer. Black seed is a healer in the Bible. And frankincense, of course, yes. And did you see the frankincense essential oil on my shelf? I've got both, the black. Okay. Okay, just a minute. I'm just gonna go dehydrate that. Okay, since we're talking about frankincense, so see, I get it, I buy it in bulk. I actually had a little shop downtown that I was offering my oils. This is frankincense. It's therapeutic grade frankincense. And so I'm going to grab a little tiny bit. Yeah, hardly any at all. I'm going to set it right here. And I'm going to put just a drop under my tongue of frankincense. Just let it sit under my tongue. Okay, so about a minute under my tongue. And so Scottish Lass asks, how long has it taken you to collect all these things? Well, as you likely noticed when I was giving the tour of all my medicines, they're all dated for 2024. So before that, I was putting all my energy and I was creating an orchard for the senior citizens where I live. And I was putting all my energy into that. So I planted raspberries, apple trees, blueberries, and strawberries, and Saskatoons. And then when that didn't work out, and I was removing my energy I just started walking and walking and walking, and I just go in the forest. And people would say, like, aren't you scared of the bears? And I'd be like, no. Like, I just go, hey, bear. I make noise and I let them know I'm going to come there. I don't want to startle them. And there's even panthers, like cougars and stuff. But I make noise. I let them know I'm around so I don't startle them. And I just walk through the forest. And I'm now I can actually look for a specific thing like a couple of years later. But at that time, I was really learning about, wow, we got this, we got that. And so when I would find plants, I'd put them through a lens identifier. And then you can learn a little bit, is it toxic? Is it edible? What did they use it for in ancient times? And so any of the medicine that I found, the fungus and the plants that were deemed medicinal or edible, I started making teas and medicines from them and just studying what they're all for. And So how long did it take? Because I wake up in the morning, I just walk for 7 or 8 hours. Just walk and walk and walk. It just made me so happy. And I'm a photographer, so it was like, oh, you got to capture this, and what is it, and what does it do? And yeah, and you just walk and walk. As soon as you get in the forest, you feel so loved and you feel so accepted, and it's like you belong to something great. And so God, I prayed when I was building the orchard for everybody, I prayed that everything would work out, but then it didn't work out. And God answers prayers in mysterious ways, because I wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to have this beautiful energy from people all over the world. And so God was like, God answers your prayers, but it's not always what you think it's going to be. It's like God was like, you're going to have a YouTube channel, and you're going to meet great people that are going to teach you great things, and you're going to share your knowledge, and you're going to teach great things. And so here I am. And what's that song out there? Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. And so this summer with my lives, where I'm just at the river, I'm in one spot swimming, that's very unusual. Usually I'm walking and I'm way back in the forest, testing new plants. I'm identifying plants that we have. Like I walk McMillan Creek all the time in the last 3 years. And just this year, when I did a live about a week ago, I found a new berry that I didn't even know we had in Prince George, and it's called a watermelon berry. So every time you go, there's just no way you could know about all the plants there. You learn something that you've got, even another plant that you didn't even know existed. Oh, Mike, thank you. You love my collection. It's good vibes, yeah. And the beautiful flute man, woman. It's like cowgirl coffee, beautiful flute woman. The girl power. Oh, thank you, Scottish Lass. Always good vibes here. And that's what I found, is that, when I was praying for the orchard, and then it would just be multiply, and I was going to do a farmer's market for everybody. And then when it doesn't turn out, I said to my social worker once, I feel like I have nothing to grab. It's like, so I got a cold. There's nothing to grab. There's nothing to grab. And I just meant like, but with YouTube, I feel like I finally have that connection with people that want to talk, that are positive, and it's just really healing. So, sometimes prayers seem like they're not being answered, but God is just, no, I have something different for you. Just let it go so that you can accept the gifts that are coming. And I think, like, always good vibes here, she said to Mike. Yeah, because there's a lot of really, really good showing up. And Tibet really helped me with that, because I really care a lot. And so when someone's hurting, like, I've been too often getting involved in helping people, and then my health really went downhill. And Tibet really helped me that, you know, the original reason for my channel when I started 3.5 years ago was to teach about healing. You know, I'd survived brain damages, and what was I going to do to, you know, reclaim my life? And so I started just studying plants and animals, and then sometimes it gets a little political, and that's okay. I mean, because there are YouTube channels out there that do that, but with my brain that I struggle with chronic exhaustion and confusion and stuff, like always being in critical thinking mode, it can be really hard on the brain. So it's like I sort of like how Tibet sort of brought that back, and to focus there, like, because then what you're doing is, we all have, like Crystal shared the other day, of, you know, chronic fatigue syndrome and like nerve challenges in the leg. And so if you're dealing with pain or brain fog or anything, it's already challenging. And so if you focus on the negative, you're just going to create more negative. And that's very true. And so, yes, the brain damages I have, it's done. But now, what do I focus on so that you can do the neuroplasticity, rebuild it up, and find a new way forward? And Tibet arrived and was able to sort of present that to me so that I could bring it back to what Healing with Cookham was originally, what I set it up for. Just West Coast. What do you mean by just West Coast? Obviously, that was something that happened back there. Tyler, really? Tiger Lily is a strong psychoactive? No way. No way. I didn't know that. I'm going to write that. Okay, so Tiger Lily. No way. I've never had Tiger Lily in my tea. Thank you for mentioning that. Tiger Lily is a strong. And what I do when I do my tea readings, I don't go excessive with anything in there unless I know it's okay. Like, I'll use a lot of yarrow safe, mullein safe. But you could put just a pinch of Tiger Lily if you wanted to. Assist with meditation. And I'm going to sneeze again. That's a cold. Lots of sneezing with this cold. It's a strong psychoactive. Oh my goodness. Psychedelic medicine. Medicine. We often use it in journaling. Often used in journaling and vision questing. Vision. And that's when I do my tea readings and I mix the different herbs to make a tea and do a tea reading. I use such a small amount of, like, say if I was going to use Tiger Lily, it'd be such a small amount that it's just more the thought that you're creating, the intention of being able to see the vision that you need to see, you know. And your intentions could be, you know, that when you're sleeping at night, that you have a dream that gives you the information that you need, because so much of vision questing, from my own perspective, my own experiences, comes from me when I'm sleeping. I get the answers when I'm sleeping. Yeah, ghost pipes. I often call them ghost pipes, but Tibet calls them Indian pipes, and they are definitely called both. Yeah, the cactus. Okay, so that's prickly pear cactus, and it's edible. I eat it before it gets its little barbs on it. Like, for example, here, I'll show you what I do. Um, so I will take a little piece and I will ask the plant, I'm going to harvest a small piece from you to eat. And I say, goodnos chish, meaning I will only take a bit. So in carrier, that means I will only take a little bit, just what I need for medicine, just what I need for my health. And when I leave, and so this is a piece of the prickly pear cactus. Now, if you took one of the older leaves and it's got all the little sharp edges on it, you have to clean those off. There's a preparation process. But because this is just a new shoot, and there's no prickly stuff on it, I just eat it. It's really good. It's almost like it's got like a gel inside, and it's got like yeah, it's just really jelly inside. It's great for iron. Cactus is great for iron deficiencies as well as respiratory health. It makes you relax. Oh, tiger lily. Oh, you're talking about tiger lilies, so it's great for iron. It's great for iron deficiencies. I think I take a multivitamin, so I don't have any iron deficiencies, as well as respiratory health. Oh, I can always use help with respiratory health because I have asthma and deficiencies as well as respiratory health, and makes you relax. Really makes you relax. Okay. See, now when I'm doing my tea readings, one of the things I do with people, if I'm doing a tea reading with a person, I just bring them into my house and I would say, pick what you want in your tea, and they will take. So I will have in my mind understanding what the different plants mean, and they can pick out what they want in their tea, and then you make a mixture. And then, you sit together and you drink your tea, and then you even just listen to what the person says. So instead of me so much going in and reading it, I tend to more ask the person, what do you see? Because that's where, when you allow that person to read for themselves, what's happening then is their subconscious mind is speaking. And so they're seeing things through their subconscious mind, and they're actually telling you a lot by what they see in the tea reading. And then you can share back and forth where I can tell them what I see, and they tell me what we see, and it just makes for a really nice conversation. I am very spiritual. Yes, and so my YouTube channel is about healing and spirituality, and that is about and mostly it's about healing, spirituality, and authenticity. And so I read people really well. Like, I can usually tell within a period of time interacting with people, like what I'm dealing with. It's like you can see through people, right? Because of how they give it away in their actions and what they say, what they don't say, what they do, what they don't do. And so I feel, say I'm okay, I'm pagan. I guess I represent more than anything as pagan. So very much on animals and plants and that focus. But say someone else is Catholic or agnostic or atheist. It's really about creating space that not to worry so much about what you call it. Because what I've learned in, meeting people, reading people, and finding out who people are is that it doesn't matter what religion or non-religion. I find that even an atheist or something, that there's people, if you look at their intentions, there's people in every religion or race that you may not, you sort of feel uncomfortable with. You're not happy with their conduct. And then there's people within that you think are just amazing, and then somewhere in between. And so I'm more focused on what your intentions are and where your heart is, and not really concerned on what you call it. I'm very spiritual, but I know people who are agnostic, who are atheists, and they're just the most giving and caring people. One of them's a teacher, and he's so good with kids that I think children in his presence would just flourish. And that's more important to me than what you call that religion. But I do identify, I think, mostly as pagan. I love the African religion. I can relate to the African religion. And the native ancient ancestors, like how they used medicine and plants and animals and, totem animals. I can just really relate to that. No, that doesn't make it right. Oh, I can relate to it, so that's the right one. No, it's just the right one for me. It's just the ones that I relate to. It's like I can relate more to Hinduism than I can to Sikh. Does that mean that Hinduism is right and Sikh is wrong? No, it just means that we're all different. I'm allowed to be able to relate to certain things without it being right or wrong for somebody else. Or vice versa, they're allowed to relate to something that I can't too. The main thing is to focus on the heart of the person and their intentions, because people will show you who they are. I'm very spiritual. How about you, Scottish Lass? Oh, we did talk about this. Yes, now I'm getting flashbacks on so you and I have a great I don't know if it's great. I have somewhat of an understanding of what happened to the healers over time, and I can relate to that. The healers, and just yeah, that's right. You and I talked about that. How people were scared of healers. Cute. What's cute? I missed it. Mike says cute. How do you use tiger lily? Oh, that's a great question. Crystal says, how do you use tiger lily? Now, I don't know if Tibet is still here, but I love that question. How do you use tiger lily? See, right away I started talking about just adding a pinch in tea. Another way that I would use it is to, soak the leaves in vodka, 100 proof. Or if I could get my hands on some moonshine, because the stronger the alcohol, the better work it does at pulling out the medicinal benefits. So to answer that question myself, I would use it in tea, and I would extract the medicine using vodka. I'd love to hear what Tibet, I'm going to sneeze again. I would love to hear what Tibet tea, neat, or pipe. A pipe's another way. Yeah, pipe. Tea, neat, or a pipe. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to, that's, for Crystal. So, just want to write down, okay, so tea, a pipe, tincture, creams, ointments, different ways you can make it. Another way that I use the plant is I won't even harvest it at all. I just touch it. I'll sit with it. So it's in the ground. I don't pull any of the plant. I don't harvest any of it. And I feel its presence. And it's like each animal has something for us to learn. So say with an eagle totem, you could say a higher perspective. A beaver totem would be hard work. And like a mouse would be that, even small things can be very significant. Things like snails and turtles, take it slowly. A rabbit, like makes sense to me, things are going to start moving. So a lot of times to get medicine from the plant, these are all ways like teas, pipes, tinctures, ointments. But quite often now, especially once I've harvested and made the medicine, I no longer harvest it because I have it at home. But I just sit with the plant and thank it for whatever it gave me to make the medicine. And then you touch it and just ask for the message that that plant has. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Mullein, which I showed you the mullein torches I make. I've got mullein leaf, I've got mullein seed. But sometimes people will plant mullein if they have a toxic ground, because the mullein can pull up. Is it mullein that does that? Which plant was that? Maybe that was a different plant. What plant was that? Okay, I'm going to pause on the mullein part. But there was this particular plant, and you plant it in the area, and it can be invasive, but it's good because it starts to pull out you don't want to eat the plant because the grounds are toxic, but people will plant them to pull out all the toxins. And so when I'm speaking to a particular plant, I might say, okay, I'm planting you everywhere in my mind, and I'm going to use, knowing that on our earth, you can be planted and pull up it could be bad pollution from the earth. But I'm going to plant you in my mind, and it's going to pull out all the negative. And so a lot of times I use the medicine of the plant without even foraging any of the plant at all, or just sitting with it like it was a friend. I have a pile of heart rocks by my stairs. Ooh, I found one the other day. Where is that one? Yeah, this one isn't quite, but I found this at McMillan Creek the other day. Close enough. So you got a whole pile. I know. Don't you love the heart rocks? It's very strange. Which one was very strange? I got to go back up. Very strange. What is it? What is what? I'm messing the crystal. There's 3 ways to use tiger lily. Oh, we got an answer from Tibet. Okay. Okay, so right. Okay, so 3 ways. To use the tiger lily that I know of. You can make tea, tincture. Okay, so tea, tincture, or inhale the smoke it produces, or inhale the smoke it produces. Okay. Now, with that said, Tibet, I want to make a homemade pipe. And do you recommend a certain wood. I don't smoke or anything too, but like even mullein leaf, you can smoke it a little bit to help with asthma. And I mean, we got a lot of birch, we got cottonwood. Is there a certain tree? Which wood would be the best to create a pipe if I was to make one? What kind of great window view, Julie? Yes, I love. You know, this whole building is made of stone, and you know, it was funny when I went through chemotherapy. My social worker at the cancer clinic, she was helping me get into low income housing. And I said, well, you know, I just don't want to be in a high rise building up on a floor where I'm gonna get trapped by fire. Well, I ended up on the top floor. But you know what? I love it. I absolutely love it. I've actually got a ladder that I bought off of Amazon that I can hang out the window here if there was ever a fire, like I can get out. Plus, I've got a smoke mask that will get me right out of the building if I'm overcome by smoke. So I'm good, but a couple things comes to mind with the beautiful view. Here, let me flip that while I'm saying this. I'm going to show it while I'm saying this, but yeah, is like this building is made of cement mostly, and I just love my view. It's very therapeutic just being able to sit here and do my lives and just do my work. Like everything is tables for me. So I've got a table there. I've got this table here, and then I've got that table there. And everything is all set up just for projects and stuff. And so it's just funny that, you know, I was like, oh, wait, make sure I'm on the bottom floor so there's a fire I can get out. I ended up on the 5th floor and I love it. And but the Bible verse that always comes to my mind when I'm up in this, because I feel so safe, which surprised me. I thought I'd be scared being up so high in case of a fire. But the Bible verse that always comes to my mind, because it's just made of cement, this whole building, is where God says, and I will place you high upon a rock. And when I look at the building around me and it's all made of, you know, cinder blocks, I always feel very safe here. God has placed me high upon a rock. And I mean, it feels like just a beautiful place. I'm very grateful for my home. Very grateful. I would struggle in a basement suite or in a place that was really dark, but you can see like the windows are huge here. Now the other building has balconies, but I kind of like this side. I really like that I live on this side. Balconies are nice, but I just love the big windows. So they got the balconies on the other side, but the apartments are more dark and dingy. But both sides have their perks. I love this side because of the big windows, and I just always feel it always reminds me like of, you know, having this space that God has placed me high upon a rock. I'm going to write that down because I do feel safe up here. And I will place you high upon a rock. Yeah. That always comes to my mind when I'm sitting here looking out the window in this cylinder built building. Sheep knuckle, that's what it came up as a sheep knuckle. I don't know if that's accurate. Oh, and the colored bottles, yeah. You know those colored bottles here that Scottish Lass is talking about? This one right here, hang on, I'll show you. Well, I guess there's different colors. So I've got the red, I got the purple, and the clear with my fairy jar. And the blue, you gotta love the blue cobalt. But this one in particular, I've got the 3 yellow ones right here. But this one right here, if you go into my lives where I'm mining McMillan Creek, well, I'll show you what I mined out of McMillan Creek. Right in here, I've got this old trunk. And this is where I keep all the old glass that I find. But if you look here, this is, I mined all this broken old pottery out of the banks of McMillan Creek. It's just old pottery that was all broken up, and the bank started giving away, and this is Medicine Hat pottery. This is old Medicine Hat pottery, and it was all in the bank. Now this is just a glass jar that broke, but I keep it for art. I collect broken glass for art. But these are all just pieces of old pottery that the bank gave away. It was the mud. There was like a mudslide on McMillan Creek, just natural spring. Well, you can see it right here. It says Medicine Hat. Just a minute. So that's Medicine Hat pottery. And I just put it in this old trunk here. What have I got in here? There's just more. I'm going to do a project with it, but the glass that you're talking about, Crystal, this also came. It was in one piece. It's the only thing I found that was in one piece is this old bottle. Right there. That old bottle came out of the banks of McMillan Creek last spring. Not this spring, but the spring before. I was just walking and hiking, and this whole bank was giving away. And there was this bottle. It even had the lid and everything with it. Now, it's not really old. This bottle here is older. There's a guy downtown, his name's Randy. He's got a antique store. It's called Somebody Else's Treasures. So I drop in there every once in a while to see what he's got. So this bottle is actually older. This one has a plastic lid, so I think it's around the 50s or something like that. Still got the plastic lid on it. But still cool that it was in one piece and not broken. Had that been a metal lid, it would have been all rusted out. So I dated it between the early 1900s to I did the research on it. So I mean, it's not extremely old, but it would have been between the early 1900s to around 1950 in there from the stuff I mined out of the creek. Now this might be older, this interesting bone fragment that I found on McMillan Creek the other day. I better put that back. Let's see. Okay, so cool. Look at colored bottles and so cool. Thank you, Crystal. You just absolutely, oh, we just made Tibet's day. That's wonderful because Tibet is always teaching so much, and it's nice when that is given back and someone experiences the same wonderful gifts that they've given, you know? Wow, it's very impressive. Thank you for the tour, Jolie. Okay, yeah, so much knowledge. And that's what I keep saying with Tibet: when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive, because I mean, that's what my YouTube channel is all about, is learning about medicine, animal totems, spiritual expressions. And people are that have similar knowledge and expertise are joining in. I believe in the other side. Yeah, so Scottish Lasses, I believe in the other side. Well, I said to my dad once, I said, he goes, because he always thought, when you die, you're going to heaven. And I said, Dad, if you go on after you die, you see, it's not like you were born. He was born 1945. I said, it's not like you were born and now you exist and you're going to exist forever. I said, when you die and you continue on in another form, I said, from my perspective, if you're going to go on when you die from this form, then you've always existed. Because I don't see how you can be born and now you're going to be here forever and ever. No, you're going to be here forever and ever in a different way, not the same way that you were here this time. I said, but you've always existed. Because if you're always going to exist, you always have had to exist. He thought that was really interesting. Yes. So I just feel that when we pass away, there'll never be a Julie again, this person, but you just transform into something, you have another experience. And I mean, that's just how I've learned to understand it. What? You were a professional cyclist before? Struck by lightning twice? But you survived that. You were meant to be. Twice. Oh my goodness. Struck by lightning twice. You notice I go out every day, rain, shine, whatever, but I don't go out in lightning. Because I don't want to get hit by lightning. My heart got damaged when I was struck by lightning twice. It made me so bedbound 3 years, bedbound 3 years. Okay. Okay, so I said 2. Okay, that was an hour ago I said that to Crystal. So, I forgot to plug this thing in here. Okay, there we go. So right now it's 21. So 9:54. It's 9:54, so it'd be 10:54 in Scotland right now. So that means 10:54 p.m. 7 hours difference. Okay, so Scottish lass. I gotta sneeze again. Just the cold. 4. I think it's 7 hours difference. Because you probably said that an hour ago. Okay, I now have a pacemaker and cool lightning scar. That is a good story. Wow, how many people have that story? Okay, so if I go to your YouTube channel, do you have any content? Pacemaker. We were talking about scars yesterday. I got the scar on my lip. That's always a good conversational piece. Wait, man, that's. And then when I was at Valley Village the other day, there was some seniors that I was chatting with in the shirt aisle where we were looking for shirts, and we were all comparing scars. And I don't think anyone can top a lightning scar. That's pretty good. Oh my God. That's amazing you survived it. Okay. Wow, Crystal's up late. 2 p.m. That would be 2 hours. 12 hours difference. No. Las Vegas? Oh, 2 p.m. Okay, yeah, so we're the same time. Right. Yeah, okay. So same time. I think that's how you became a so Scottish Lass says Tibet, that's not so good. That is not so good. No. No. That is not so good. Hope you're well now. And that's how you became a healer. See how God does things like that. What beautiful she was. Crystal says, hi, Scottish Lass. Hi, friend. Crystal, hi, Crystal, from your Scottish friend. Pretty kitties, and you're so cute in your pigtails, Julie. Oh, yeah, I'm slow processing through this. That's like an hour ago. Pretty kitties. Oh, that's what. Oh, beautiful she was. Now I know what that means. Okay, I didn't understand. Okay, so beautiful she was. She was a little tomboy. I totally identify as female, but I was really a tomboy. Always riding my bikes, and I loved my little Tonka cars. Be outside driving in the dirt. I was really a tomboy. Oh, so you're 1,000 times better. Wow. 1,000 times better. That's what I'm aiming for. 1,000 times better. Tibet, so glad to hear that from Scottish Lass. And my sweet kitty. Yeah. How am I feeling? Well, in regards to the cold, a little more tired. A little more achy, like things aren't moving quite right, which is kind of normal for a cold. But today's day 99 of my live streams, and I've noticed my brain is more relaxed now that I've shifted my, maybe not get too down the rabbit hole on political things, because then my brain is going to want to start healing, and I'm feeling other people's pain, and yeah, so I'm noticing a lot better now that I'm really focusing in on sharing very positive experiences. And because I really care, I can really get into helping other people. But I think this is a better way to help people, in focusing on what we can do, not what's so terrible about it, but what can we do? Like Tibet just said 1,000 times better. I love that. Let's be 1,000 times better. And so Tibet is teaching a lot. So my brain feels relaxed. And even some of the things that Tibet would say, like Crystal already understood. What was the thing that Crystal understood? What were we talking about? Up there, something. Let me go back. Crystal. No, I'm going to do it right here. What's that? Maybe if I go to him. What's that Crystal said? That she knew it, and I didn't. I guess I didn't write that one down. So I'm feeling better. How are you today, Scottish Lass? How's your health? And if you told me already, sorry, please remind me. I am alcohol free for 13.5 years, so the alcohol evaporates. Oh, and the medicine? Wow, alcohol free for 13.5 years. You can. Now, there's another step that you can take the medicine. So right now, I take it in such minute doses. It's like a drop. Or at the very most, with the Mullen, I take about an ounce. I don't drink it all, but when I take my medicine, there's a little drop of alcohol in that. It's so minute. But you can actually take the alcohol out of it. And that's another thing for me to learn. Black seed oil is a healer, yes. So, if you didn't want to take it with alcohol, you could have a tea. You can also make it with olive oil. And the reason I steer away from olive oil, I already take olive oil every day. But if I make medicine from it, it will ferment eventually. And that's why I use the vodka. So that way I'm not foraging all the time, going back and having to get more and more. That is amazing. So 3.5 years. You didn't see that. What didn't you see? What can you use frankincense for, Julie? Well, frankincense is really good for brain injuries. It helps the brain. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. And so, oh, is that why you asked why I was feeling better? It would be so subtle. No, I feel about the same as from when I took the frankincense. I feel about the same. I got a little bit of a headache, but frankincense can help with tension headaches. It helps with focus, anti-inflammatory. I take it to help my brain function better. And I don't take things every day, like I'll go months and months without anything, and then just try a little bit. And then that way you can feel if it makes a difference. But I did try that drop of frankincense underneath there. I feel about the same. And there's just some things that are just profoundly, like when I take my probiotics, like I feel like it really helps with the bloating and the inflammation. I live up the hill from a lavender farm. No, near the Truckee River in Reno, Nevada. Oh, no way. Can you smell it? The conversation's probably everybody's already an hour past the questions. Here I am reading them. Oh, yeah, that must have smelled so good. The one oil that I really noticed, the two that really make a difference is vetiver and rosemary. Like right now, I'm out of rosemary. I wish I had some rosemary. And but if you can buy these inhalers. You drop a little bit in there. Oh, I love rosemary. Yeah, the lavender farm has an old house that has turned into an afternoon tea time and lavender stir. Oh, I love lavender. Frankincense is usually made from resin and dried as an incense to clear spaces of negative energy and induce meditative states, not as strong as tiger lily, but a powerful plant alliance. Okay, I'm gonna grab some. Here's my incense. Now I'm gonna grab a lighter. Hang on a minute. Go back here. I just have to have frankincense here. Now I bought this from Enjoy Studio here in Prince George. And it's 100%, it is frankincense, it's not artificial perfume. So I'm just gonna, wait, before I start that, I'm gonna need to, yeah, I can put it there. I'll put it right like that. Okay. Okay, so Tibet said it clears spaces of negative energy. And incense induced medication and meditative state. Okay, I'm gonna clear spaces of negative energy. This is frankincense. I'm even going to encircle my head. of my head, and then figure 8 back, removing all the negative energy and replacing it with positive energy. Okay. Mm. Okay, that would have been lovely, Crystal. Yeah, to live next to lavender. Yeah. Yeah. It was lovely. Yeah. And just trying to imagine living right. But I'm going to sleep right in the lavender patch. Scottish glasses, Crystal, lovely memories. Forest bathing. My parents have lived in the woods in Oregon since 1976. So Tibet says, Julie trusts that nothing in life ever happens for no reason. Even the bad things in life is powerful medicine if we can embrace it. And that brings up my poem. Mary Oliver said, someone I loved once gave me a box full of darkness. It took me years to understand that this too was a gift. Hmm. Are you not close to, because Crystal says that she would love to be able to spend time in the woods with trees and animals. That's my kind of activity. Are you not getting that? Are you in the middle of the city? I live in the city, but I'm actually able to walk, or I go to the river. It takes 20 minutes to a half hour, depending on how it can take an hour for me to get there sometimes, especially in the summer. Can you have a rope swing put on a tree where you swim? Me? Is that me? Because Scottish, are you asking me that? Can you have a rope swing put on a tree where you swim? Hmm. That would be fun. I don't know. It's crystal. I don't know if you could. You'd have to get just the right tree, and the river would have to be up to a certain level. That'd be fun. Your rope swings are fun. Yes, girl power. Swinging off ropes. So the Tarzan with Jane is girl power. Yeah. Scottish Lass says, Crystal, we have woods just behind our back garden. I love watching all the birds and animals. I love listening to the birds too. Yes. You know, Scottish Lass, I was just talking to my sister about this, that in our brains, when you hear birds singing, it triggers a feeling of safety. And ancestrally, what that means, what developed in our brains, is that when birds are singing, it means there's no danger around. If something of danger comes in, birds stop singing because they don't want to alert that, oh, here I am, you know? And so our ancestors would have felt peace when they hear the birds singing. Because even if you look at tsunamis, like the one in Thailand, where the elephants knew about the tsunami before the people did, and they were heading up the mountain. The elephants were heading up the mountain, and they were saved because they headed up the mountain. They knew there was a tsunami coming, or there was danger to the land, and the people didn't. And in our brains, when animals are chirping, it relaxes us. And I just read recently it's because the birds won't chirp and sing if they're afraid or feel like there's a threat around, that they'll stop singing. Yeah, lovely sounds and sights and Scottish Lass for so that's for girl power. That's right. All right, I'll do mine. There. I feel it too, and I appreciate you and your channel. Yeah. Yeah, today's day 99. Yeah, I feel it. It's made a difference into my healing. I feel safe. I feel I've finally been able to connect with positive energies and share my positive energies. Crystal, I feed all the birds. Yeah, I know. She feeds all the birds. Okay. I'm okay because I have my. Where is that? Where is it? Yeah. Where did I put it? Oh, I'm not sure where it is. I'm gonna have to find that. Got my bag of walnuts that goes with me. How come it's not in my purse? Where did I put that? Must be in my backpack. Aha! So this little bag here is always in my purse when I'm going to the river. It's got walnuts in it. And the birds, they see me coming, especially the crows. Well, because crows eat the walnuts, and the squirrels. And so if I haven't noticed them, like if I'm walking and they'll actually swoop right past my ear because they know I'll hear that. And I don't even have to see them. I just hear that. And then I get my bag out, and every trip to the river, yeah, they're always seeing me coming with my bag of treats. So, Krista, I feed all the birds. I love seeing them. There are so many beautiful ones. Yeah. Scottish lass. For birds, my brother Kevin loved birds too. Oh, is he deceased? I get it. I have a picture of all the beautiful birds on my phone. Yeah, birds. Crystal, I love nature. It's so beautiful, but I'm sick of people trying to destroy a beautiful planet. I know there's so much garbage around where I go. I never film it. But I was trying to clean it up. If you go and search Healing with Cookham, you'll see where I was trying to clean up the river and the creek, Macmillan Creek in one section. And I started a big fire and burning all the garbage and things that people were bringing in to party. And I got busted. And I still remember the fireman saying, you can have wood, your fire has to be 2 by 2 by 2, clean, dry wood, and in a designated area. And I broke every rule because it was just pouring out rain. Everything was saturated. And I used my homemade fire starter can. I make these fire starters of old tuna cans. I literally got this bonfire going. Yeah, anyways, there's still lots of garbage there. I don't even try to clean it up anymore. Just ignore it. The city will have to do something. Vitamin C. Ah. You know what, Crystal? That's interesting that you say vitamin C, because I tell you, when I go shopping with my grandbaby, there's this really interesting thing that happens between us. She picks out things and she'll go buy this, and I'll go, no, I don't need that. And then down the road, I end up needing it. She's only 3 years old. And so about 2 weeks ago, I was at Costco with my daughter, my grandbaby, and my son-in-law. And I was looking for a Line probiotic, and it's an orange and white container. So I said to her, we went kind of running through Costco, and I said, I'm looking for a Line. Come on, is it down this aisle? And it wasn't there. And I said, it's orange and white. And so she points up to this big jar of chewable vitamin C's that was in an orange and white bottle. And I said, no, that's not it. But in my mind, I'm going, you know what? I probably need that. Because every time she points something out, even though it's not a not need, then a couple weeks later, I realize I needed it. It's like a spiritual thing between us that happens. And now I wish I would have bought that big bottle of vitamin C. So this is a lesson for me to pay more attention to that when she tells me to, when she points something out that I'm like, well, not quite. I'm going to think more about it. Yeah, I wish I had those vitamin C's right now. But I am, there is vitamin C in my drink here. Oh my goodness, this has been 3 hours. I gotta get to the river. Hang on. This is just amazing. Crystal, that's so nice, Crystal. I put up a nest box up this year in my garden, and 5 beautiful blue tit babies. Tit babies, never heard of that, survive. They come to the window to feed now too. Thanks, Scottish. Oh, yes, I was eating prickly pear cactus. What the fuck is this shit? He said, okay, Jackson, please be nice. Okay. Well, I can just take that comment down. Hang on, I'll just remove it. I'll just remove it there. And then there was also, no, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. But she's teaching. So Scottish Lass was just teaching. So I could have left that message up, but I just love how Scottish Lass does it. It's a healing channel. So just gentle teaching. It's gentle teaching. Mostly just ignore anything negative, or gently teaching like Scottish Lass. Just give us a beautiful example of. Okay, I'm gonna write that off. Okay, so check community wall. I should probably get to the river now for powerful cold and flu remedy. I leave you now. Tibet says, I leave you now for some needed rest. Wholesome evening, everyone. Oh, there's cheering. Aloha. Wow, you're home, and I'm a lot, and I'm a lot of flowers. Hi, Scottish Lass from a Scottish lad. Ooh, you're Scottish, Aria. Aye. All right. How do they, okay, I'm gonna, gotta get to the river now. Leading. Healing. M-S. Cheering. Or EP. Scottish. You're a Scottish lad. Some vodka tea? Is that a real thing? Yes, we spoke about the healers being accused of being witches. Yeah, we spoke of that. Where is that? Oh, okay, yes. Okay, you're responding to me. Yeah. Yeah. P.S. Were you one of many likes today, Julie? Did you do a live stream today? I'm not getting notifications. I'm gonna have to go in and check that because I didn't. Just white light. Yeah, I think witches. We're healers. I went blurry and now it's clear. A shrew can be shrewd if not tamed. True. There's smell of an old loved one's pipe. Oh yeah. You know what? I'm getting such a. I'm gonna lay down and then maybe try to get to the river. This cold. I'm getting a bit of a headache. I think it's from the cold. I'm gonna have something to eat and then I'm gonna do some exercise at the river. How much down here? Oh, there's so many comments. I'm gonna miss so many. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like I need to lay down for a bit before I go to the river. Thank you, everybody, for all, everything that you shared here today, and all your tips on healing, and all your beautiful, kind energy, all your teaching. I feel like I'm just literally going to fall asleep. And I'm getting a headache. I think it's just part of the cold. Headache's getting worse. Okay, so Scottish Lass says, it's nice chatting with everyone. I'm off to sleep, guys. Oh, you too, yeah. And I gotta lay down. I feel like my headache's getting worse. So just thank you, everybody. Today's day 99, and tomorrow is day 100 of the live streams. I've learned so much today, and I've taken lots of notes so that I can flip back and forth to help me remember everything. Yeah, I miss most of. Oh, I got through quite a few, but I just am not moving through it that quickly. Thank you, everybody. Okay. I literally feel like I have to lay my head down. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to close. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, I'm going to be at the river later after I have my little nap. So maybe we'll see everybody at the river, or some people at the river. If not, today is day 99 of my live streams. And tomorrow we hit the big 100. Yes, I got to go lay my head down. My headache's getting worse from this cold. Thank you, everybody. Love Cookum. This was wonderful.